3 months after flood ravaged some communities in Nigeria, inhabitants of Ketso village in Niger State who fled their homes have returned. But their current living conditions have gone from bad to worse as the floods destroyed all the basic amenities, including hospitals and schools. In this special report, correspondent Chenemi Bamaiyi visited the village to assess the living conditions of the inhabitants.
Today, we are visiting Ketso. It is a long journey from Minna, the Niger State capital, about 5 hours on the road with no snarl in traffic along the way. We arrived near Ketso, the resettlement area provided by the government for the inhabitants of Ketso to relocate to. The land is still bare with no houses in place. We were aided on this journey by Mohammed Ketso and Idris Ketso, both natives of the village. From here, it is another 1 hour 30-minute ride on motorbikes into the old village. But why are we here? 3 months ago, when I visited this community here in Ketso, the entire area was submerged. The people had fled their homes, and those that stayed back were without food and medical care for weeks. We saw women give birth in the midst of the flood with no health care. Considering the devastation the flood caused, I never expected them to come anywhere close to this area again. But now that the water has receded, they are back to their village, which sits on the bank of the Niger. So, I'm here to find out why they have returned and see what they were able to scrape up to continue their life's journey. The 1 hour ride on motorbike led us through dry lands that were completely submerged months ago and could only be passed using boats. But now the waters have all but dried up, except for puddles on the way and small creeks. Despite the fact that a larger portion of the water has receded, we had to cross this pool of water. The heavy flood had washed away the only bridge available. Our motorcycles would have to be carried on canoes to cross to the other side. It was an opportunity for brisk business for the youth. After another 30 minutes ride, we arrived at Ketso village. Activities in the village have returned to normal, but we later find out that things have gone from bad to worse for the people. They were glad to see us again because we visited in their time of pain during the flood. For these people, life has returned, but not from where they left off 3 months ago when they fled their homes due to the flood that swallowed their village.
This is the bank of the River Niger where this problem began for the people. The water overflows this bank and moves into the community. Life appears to be normal for these people right now. They are back to the settlement. But it seems this joy will be short-lived because they say this water is gradually advancing again.
This street light was buried under the water months ago during the flood. The marks on this wall shows the height the water rose to. I went round the village to assess the level of damage caused. Houses are on the verge of collapsing because they've been weakened by the waters. Properties and personal belongings have been swept away along with harvested farm produce they stored.
Both my female property, both clothes, box about 5 boxes full of clothes, both male and female property were lost. I couldn't receive any. As we see us now, we have no any property for this thing now.
Circumstances forced us to return here. We are not happy staying here.
School is far away from resuming here, not because students are on vacation, but due to the fact that the only primary school here was destroyed. Primary health care is gravely needed here as the only hospital in this community was brought down by the floods. For now, this room is a makeshift arrangement the community set up to serve as a hospital. They now rely on these and the services of a primary health care worker. When a patient's condition is getting critical, they will be admitted on these beds.
So we lost so many things during flooding. We have some equipment that we are using for our patients. Most of them we lost them. Even the bed where we are admitting the patient has been lost. There's a machine where we used to centrifuge the blood in the lab. All those ones during the flooding we lost them. Even the zinc itself, the zinc we used to cover the roofing, we didn't have it.
From a devastated healthcare to classrooms destroyed by water, the people here are in need of help in more ways than one.
And within here again, we almost have some villages that used to come here. This is our clinic here. So now we didn't have all those things again. We have VP apparatus, we have all those faucets that we were using. That time, we even frustrate. We just find a way to save our own life. We forget some equipment here, seriously.
So how are you managing with your coping with your patients now? Since that all of these things you don't have them again.
Since we didn't have all those ones, we get some that we use our own money to bought it in order to manage it, because we cannot stay that since we don't have any help from the government, we will just stay and leave our peoples in that situation. So we ourselves will manage and buy some equipment in order to manage small case.
Proper farm.
When we visited this place 3 months ago, about 9 babies were born. I was eager to see the children and their mothers. Unfortunately, I was told that Abubakar, one of the boys, died shortly after my visit due to ill health. But I found Saratu Aliyu, one of the nursing mothers, whose baby Amina is still battling ill health.
Oh my God. Yes, Samantha.
Amina.
Hey, Amina. Amina, look here now. Yeah, look. Ya jikinki yanzu. Yanzu kina jin dadi yanzu.
We returned to find our entire house destroyed by water. We don't have food, talk less of repairing the house. My daughter is still sick. It is one problem in the morning and another in the evening. She is still sick. You can hear her coughing. We were discharged from the hospital yesterday.
Agriculture, which is their only means of survival, was adversely affected. Their only hope for survival is now dry season farming to abate food shortage.
And secondly, the poverty level because of the damages is very, very high. So if there's anything that the government should do to assist them, first of all, let them help them with improved seedlings, then fertilizer, and some certain things that will alleviate their suffering.
These people face another threat as the water, which had receded, is now gradually advancing towards the village again. Resettlement appears to be the only option to prevent further loss of lives. There are other villages along the bank of the river Niger that need resettlement as well. For Ketso, a new place has been provided on upper ground, but they need a housing support plan to build structures. The government can begin by saving one community at a time. Chenemi Bamaiyi, TVC News, Ketso.